Thank you for joining Inventors TV. We are so honored that you have taken time to join us in this incredible journey of taking your product from concept to market through the first of its kind Inventor web series, Inventors TV, brought to you by the largest women-owned inventor marketing and connection platform, Inventorz Network. For over 11 years, we have been supporting, educating, and connecting inventors to help them take their products from concept to market. And now, with the power of the internet, our vast social reach, we are able to bring you the most comprehensive Inventor TV series live. And now, welcome to our show. This is Deanna Cohen and Melinda Knight. Big old World Wide Web.
Yeah, well, we're all about virtual, so that's what we do. So we connect awesome people with our inventors community and share resources and fun stories and all that stuff, so it made sense to take it online.
Yes, and today is not any different. In fact, besides the fact that it's Valentine's Day, which I'd like to wish all of you a very happy and heartfelt Valentine's Day, but sometimes getting your heart racing and like there's certain people out there that really like that drive to make their heart race. And I think our first and wonderful guest, Jason Enos from Empire Prototype.com, is really the guy who understands what dragging it out a little bit longer on the race. But you probably don't drag it out, Jason, do you, on the race course? You kind of go pretty fast. So with all those little puns aside, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
So our understanding is that you started as a drag racer or a big enthusiast in the industry. Is that what really gave you this ability as a mechanic or building race cars to be able to prototype and build other products?
Well, it was definitely an influence, but that's not really where it started. The story actually started a little earlier. I've been doing stuff like this my whole life. I was fortunate enough to I was brought up in a home where I lived with my grandparents and my uncles, and they were all craftsmen. They were cabinet makers. My uncle was a custom car builder, so it was kind of cool growing up and seeing all that as a kid. And I remember at 5 years old, I was already using an X-Acto knife. So kind of really got involved in the whole model world and in the building early age, and never knew that there was a career for this. It was just kind of one of those weird things I fell into. But I fell into it through the racing, and that's kind of how it all connects. Basically, I was, actually I went to school to be an electrician, and I actually did that for a little while and really, really didn't like it, and always had an artistic ability. So I met this person through racing and through cars. I've been racing and been into cars since I was old enough to drive. My first car that I built, I was 13 years old. So I've always been around cars. And the way I got into the industry is the person I met. He was one of those guys where he's kind of like a big brother type of guy, where he's like, what are you gonna do with your life? He goes, you're really not happy being an electrician. He goes, why don't you come see what I do? And he actually was one of the supervisors at the model shop at Hasbro. I remember walking in there and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe there was a job, doing this. So I was one of the youngest trained pattern makers at Hasbro. Worked there for a number of years, and I pretty much owed my entire career to essentially to Hasbro. And just from there, I had always had aspirations of kind of doing my own thing and being my own boss, thinking it would be easy. Not necessarily the case, but it's been an unbelievable journey. I've been doing this now for, my God, a long time, since 1999, and the racing has kind of always played a part, and it's weird. I've met contacts, and I've just done everything around the whole racing world. And what's really cool is I didn't even realize it. Like all this time, as I was doing the pattern work and the model work and all that stuff. I never thought my fabrication in the car world would ever play into effect into my business, because I was always doing plastic stuff, So there's really, when I started my company, there was really nothing racing related back then. But what was weird is as the company grew and we got into more of the design, the engineering, and all that type of stuff, our company and our client base really grew. And just by chance, we had a gentleman walk in from a military company and asked us if we were able to suspensions. I'm like, wait a minute. I do. I mean, it's, that's just from the racing world. So that experience in life and the racing and stuff kind of rolled into a big opportunity where we were doing unmanned military vehicles. So it's just been crazy. I mean, the type of work we do is just, it's all over the place, which really gives us a great opportunity to offer a lot more to our clients. So we could be working on an unmanned military vehicle to, the craziest idea or invention. It's pretty wild. And what's really cool though, and why we love working with inventors so much, because it seems like with the inventor stuff and the work that we do in that world, it allows us to use like all of our skills together. It's not like like when you get a particular client will come to us, like one of the bigger clients will come to us and we're only doing what they ask us to do. And that's it, and that's what we're getting paid to do. We work with inventors, we can help them be creative, we're creative, and we can use our knowledge from, all the years we've been in business and all the different people and customers we've worked for and kind of really, find a solution to the issue at hand and really find a good way of getting it done.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned this path that you went down. So besides being a race car driver and then sort of being the Tom Hanks in the movie Big, the young guy at Hasbro, so that's a pretty cool and exciting thing. That you mentioned these innovators, the inventors that you work with. So we're glad that you brought that up because your portfolio is really quite impressive. Do you find that some of the inventors that you work with then become potential clients for some of your larger brands that you work with?
Yes. We have definitely come into those situations, actually quite a bit, where, we'll get a person that'll just come to us, with an invention, and then, 5 years down the road or whatever, our big thing is we always, we have the same relationships in business we've had all along, so, we'll still be in touch with these people 5 years later, and we end up doing work as they excel. And obviously if they excel, we excel. So, it's in our best interest to it's a win-win for us if everyone does well. So, it's a good gig.
Good deal. Linda, do you have any questions?
No. Do you want to share where you are? I mean, accent might give it away, but share. I mean, even though now with the online and the technical world, that doesn't limit you, I'm sure. But
Nope.
But especially with us, we're able to connect you to a lot of people. But you want to share kind of where you are and?
Sure. We're in Attleboro, Massachusetts. We're in I don't know how many square foot building we're at now. Probably approaching 20,000 square feet now. In this building here, we do all of our work in house. So we have up front on our building, we have the graphics team, the engineering teams, the design teams. In the heart of the building, we have all of our makers, our model makers, and things like that. And then as you travel through the heart of the company, you get into our technology area where we have all of our 3D printing. And where we have that is, pretty much a whole new area of the business. As we've grown, we keep adding on, it seems like. And the newest area is where the 3D printing is in the CNC machining. We do a ton of CNC machining and 3D printing. We have, because we're a service bureau, we have multiple machines. So we don't have just, one machine that does everything. We have multiple machines that can get the job done, or having the opportunity to do CNC. I mean, really not much we don't do. And in the location we are in, it's great. I mean, there's a lot of great schools up here. There's a ton of talented people up in the East Coast, up where we are. So it's a perfect location for us.
Great.
Do you have some samples or some, kind of examples of things that you've done? Maybe something.
Yeah, just some random stuff.
Random. We like random. Random's good.
This is pretty random. We, obviously we go to a lot of, trade shows and things like that. And the hardest thing in our company is explaining like how much we do. It's like, most people don't believe us when we say like we really can't do everything in one location, under one roof, one company. So this item here, it's just a made-up item. It's something that we kind of invented. We invented it it's basically an invention for it's a marketing tool. It's really all it is. And we had our artists, and really sounded Boston. We had our artists sketch up some ideas of, just a simple something that has a lot of color and some gears and kind of shows off our work. So we did a bunch of sketches and stuff of what we thought it should look like and the idea and what would get people interested. And we created this wheel. I mean, that's all it really is, but it shows, our graphics work and shows our paint jobs, how our, our finished work comes out, and it has some mechanics behind it too. So everything here is done in, it's all done in CAD, it's all 3D printed, some stuff CNC machine, some stuff laser cut. So it really has a lot, and basically all it was for is to basically put on our trade show booth and have people go by and go, what the heck is that? And
by the way, that would be awesome at Housewares, just FYI. Just so you know, Empire Group's going to be represented at the Housewares show too in March. So that if you have an extra one, that would be awesome. We'd be sure to send it back to you. It would be great to have it there because that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things. It's like it definitely brings people in for sure.
Yeah, it's as you would say, wicked cool.
We're at our Boston accent.
Yeah, it doesn't come out quite as cool as when you say it, I'm sure. Pacific Northwest accent.
This kind of brings me back kind of to the racing roots. I mean, this thing doesn't look like much. I mean, it's a thermoform, very easy little invention that I came up with. And basically, this is to feed air to a turbocharger. The race cars and the cars that I race are all turbocharged cars. They all make in excess of 3,000 horsepower. And the way to feed those, you need somewhere to, to channel the air in, and that's what this simple little thing does that we made, and we sell them to all the racers. So pretty cool. Little, nothing much, but it was, it was a fix to a problem.
Well, isn't it what the goal is if you're working with an inventor and they come to you, I mean, maybe they're just coming to you with a little piece of paper and a drawing on a napkin. The steps of going through the process to see if their product solves a problem, you turn people away when you think that their product isn't really made for the marketplace? Are you kind? And I'm sure you're very kind, but what happens when someone just has an idea that maybe isn't made for market?
We wouldn't get involved if it was really that bad. Fortunate for us, we haven't come into that, thankfully, because that's definitely a tough one. But I really don't like to be the person that judges someone else's ideas. I want to help them. If they truly believe in it and it's in their heart that this is a good product, who am I to say it's not? So I'll do my best to our best ability in the company to make it happen. But I'll also be upfront too. I definitely don't want to lead someone down a path where they get upset with us on something that's not going to work. But I'm pretty confident where we have so much experience and so many different people in here to pull ideas from that. I really think a simple meeting or a simple phone call, we can easily tell if it's something we want to get involved with or something that can or cannot be done. That's why, I mean, what we do with Inventorz is we offer a free consultation, to our inventors. I mean, anyone wants to call and talk to us, please do. And we try to identify their needs and see if it's a project that we can work on together. But I definitely don't want to. We're not the type of company that will pick someone's pockets. We're not like that. We're looking to do something creative to really make us all look good.
And isn't that important too? I bet your team has the ability to, if someone comes in with an idea, to be able to tweak it a little bit because you know how it would function, and if it has gears or has something that has movable parts that you can say, well, you should do it this way so that maybe the price would be lower. I mean, do you work with them in that regard?
Yes. I mean, we do that with our larger clients a lot too. I mean, we get hired for that a lot where someone will come to us with an item that's on the market that's a really good item, but the margins are really tight. So they'll come to us and have us, re-engineer the product to, for increased profit margins. So we bring that same thinking into the invention in the inventing world. So that's what I really think gives us the leg up, is being able to do that type of stuff. And we have close to 30 people in here. I think we're a big company, but we're it's really a small company. But 30 is big for me. But with just that amount of people, though, we have people that are in the medical industry that work here. We have people that are from the automotive industry that work here. We have people from the toy industry, consumer, and on down. So we're it's a team environment. We're all in one big open space, and we're struggling. It's very easy for me to go, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to Ryan because he has a lot of experience in this field and see what he thinks. So it's pretty cool. And even, you know, it doesn't end there. I mean, it's just, you know, the amount of years that we've been doing, we've seen quite a bit. Some really cool stuff.
And oh, sorry. I was just going to ask if you could go into a little bit more specifics about the services that you provide. You talked about, you know, the warehouse but I think, you know, when we talk about prototype or providing prototypes, there's so many different options. Do you want to go into detail a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we could kind of go through, I guess, like a basic first type of kickoff or something. I mean, essentially, you know, we'll have a client that'll call us. They'll have an idea. First questions we usually ask is, you know, do you have any CAD on? Is there a sketch? Is it a napkin sketch? You know, is it just a random idea in your head? You know, what can we do to help? And once we figure out what's really truly needed, you know, we'll take them, you know, through the process, or her, sorry. And it really depends on the item. But most of the time, they'll come in. We usually go through like a sketch phase. So if it's an idea that came in and it's just a rough napkin sketch, then we obviously want the person that has this invention to like their design. So the very low cost first introduction into anything in the company is to do a sketch, like a professional rendering of what the item should be. And once we get that, and again, that's a fairly low cost first step. If the client likes it and they're happy with the direction we're going, we'll determine, you know, the next step being the type of model they need. Because there's multiple different types of models to be built. I mean, we can build, you know, high-end models here where everything's CNC machine because it's going to be tested for you know, for a crowdfunding deal or something like that, or it could be something that's just 3D printed and it's non-working, just looks like. So it really depends on the item, but there's not, you know, again, we can do any version here. So we usually like to try to figure out the client's budget. So if the client has a really good budget and really wants to make a really great first impression and they really want to go for it and they truly believe in it, we usually try to do a little bit of CAD on it. We don't do full engineering CAD on it at this point because it really doesn't make sense to do that. We don't need to do that. It's not going into tooling or anything like that. Usually in the inventor world, we're making stuff just to get the idea across and show a really, you know, really kick-ass presentation and model of what the item should be. So, you know, we can do it. We can do traditional model making, which is the old, you know, by hand way, which we usually don't do. It's not really cost effective anymore to do it that way. Most of the time, a lot of our stuff is 3D printed. You know, it's drawn in CAD, 3D printed, and done that way. But the processes we have in house, we have packaging, we have graphics, so we can help with logo development, you know, how it's going to look in the box. We can do all that. Again, we can do the sketching, the idea, and different variations of what the idea could look like, colors, things like that, color studies, the engineering, the design, all of it, and into the prototype world, into the build world. So, and really, it depends on what it is. If it's an exercise machine, usually that takes into consideration our machining and our welding and our metal fabrication skills. So, big items like that usually kind of go down that road. So we'll, you know, actually a really cool type of work where, you know, it gets us to do a lot of hand work and hands-on work. So there's so many different processes. It's kind of tough for me to describe just one because there's so many.
Well, that's good for the inventor to know that, you know, you can really work because there are so many different designs and ideas and you have to customize it to, and if they know that budget, we're always sensitive to the inventor budget. Yep. In our world, and so knowing a company is that, you know, as part of our network is also sensitive to that. Yep. Is important because there's I would say 9 times out of 10 most inventors have a budget and it's usually tight.
Yep. We all do.
Yeah.
Where, you know, if anything good came out of you know, the recession we've had, I think it was just how efficient we made our company. We're a better company because of it. I mean, we are a very efficiently run company. We know right where we're at all times, cost-wise, and, you know, where we hold true to our quotes. We don't, you know, we're a very honest group. I can definitely guarantee you that. We're very sensitive to cost. I mean, we're daily basis. That's what we're doing. We're quoting, negotiating, and all that type of stuff, and trying to point people in the right direction. And that's my job. So.
That's wonderful.
Totally.
What were you going to say, Jason? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Melinda, do you think we have some questions from some of the people on?
Karen, Tina, be sure to, anybody out there, you can be sure to send us questions. I've got my little prompt. Now they've got my double screen. I can see your questions much better. So that's awesome. And we're recording it too, so you're welcome to email us at info@inventorsnetwork.com with questions. And also we have information about Jason and Empire Group. It's actually empireprototype.com is their website. But you can email us any questions, and we can send it to them. They're easy to contact, to get through. I can personally say, very customer friendly, and that's nice because it's a scary process to go through the inventing process. And having somebody who's a good team member who helps you along the way, listens to you, that's important. And so I feel like the team at Empire Group definitely are those, special team members. And then I'm sure you're probably all about team because of your background in the race industry,
Yeah.
By the way, do you still race? That's
Yes.
the question I want to know.
I still race. Yep.
Okay.
Not as much as I used to, but I still race. Yeah, it's something I don't think I'll ever stop. And if I stop, it won't be for long.
Okay.
That's drag racing still.
Yep. Still drag racing.
My husband used to be a Formula something open.
Really?
Yeah, well, he would do like the mini Indy car circuit.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
We do have a question. Let me see if okay. Thank you, Karen. Do you sign NDAs?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
Absolutely.
one here. Yay.
Yeah.
Anybody who says they won't sign an NDA is not somebody you want to work with. We sign them all day long. So.
No, it's crazy. The other thing too is we have stock NDAs. So a lot of times inventors will call us, and honestly, I won't even work with someone without an NDA because I don't want to get into that.
Yep.
We have our stock NDA, so if anyone ever needs it, we just provide it.
Yeah. It's important for inventors when they're, especially when they're coming to you. Usually it's in the beginning phases. They're not necessarily ready to get a prototype yet or a patent yet because they haven't gone through the prototype phase. So you're at a very sensitive stage with them, not only with budget but also protection. So knowing that and they trust you with their ideas and their really you're kind of their parent, taking them in and helping them along. So it's good. That's a very important step.
That's our whole shit for keeping everything in house. Is back in the day when we were first starting out, obviously we were very small with myself and two other people in a one-car garage, and we used to outsource a lot of the 3D printing. I'm like, man, I just don't feel comfortable doing this. It's like when we got this idea that we're just sending it to someone to build. I'm like, it just never felt right. So that's why it was always our drive to be able to do it all in house, to protect those intellectual ideas.
This has been, incredibly important for our community of inventors to understand that there is a company like Empire Group that has a full service of getting a product from idea to concept and into an actual model, a working model, or a rendering model that actually is there to show to the next phase. And what that next phase looks like, Jason, in your opinion, where do they go from there after they have their prototype?
After they have their prototype, hopefully, they have someone that might be interested in the idea. Usually most do. That's one thing we don't do. We don't get involved with a placement or anything like that. Unfortunately, that's not our business. So our job is to really just turn over a complete turnover package of all the work we've done. So the client owns all the data, that owns essentially everything. And then from there, it could go into testing, a bunch of different things. Roger, what's your experience with what you felt? Roger, actually, he's not even in the picture there, I don't think.
Hi, Roger.
Roger is the director of the design department, and Roger usually is the one that first talks to the inventors. It's usually either he or I, but if all they need is a strictly just a prototype. It usually just falls on my lap. But if it needs a lot of the design, let's put it this way: if it's just a napkin sketch, a lot of times it goes through Roger first.
Mm-hmm.
But Roger actually has worked with some really cool stuff. That we're actually launching a new website.
Within the next couple of days. Hopefully today, but at least by tomorrow.
We're hoping like yesterday. But we have a new website.
Process. It's sometimes struggling. The web development side is a whole other world.
Oh my God, it is. But we're excited. We got a cool website coming out, and we have a blog that has actually some inventions that we've worked on that we can actually show, which is pretty cool. That's why I was hoping it would be live today, but it's not. What are you going to do?
Well, you can share. The great thing is this will be up forever, and we'll also be able to share, your blog and your articles, kind of double fisting it, I guess. That didn't look very good, but I do have a question. Do you do small batch manufacturing?
It depends on the item. I mean,
yeah, it depends on what they're looking for, the material that they're looking for. We do urethane casting. So for small batches of parts, we can 3D print a master, and then from there, depending on the size of the mold, and we've done some fairly large and small molds, and we can cast. Usually, maximum quantities are around 20-25 pieces
per mold.
Per mold.
Yeah.
So then that's about where we are, and we can replicate different types of materials in that process. So that it helps the inventors in that sense if they want to go out a little bit further to show different buyers or multiple people.
Great.
And
if you help with the design and the packaging, that's, people can really come out looking polished and having something to, get those opportunities.
Yep. We also, where we do some work in the, in the medical industry, we do a lot of, beta testing models. So we can do quantities of working samples, usually 100, 200 max, where we, create cast samples that people can actually use for really actually real life use.
Wow. And are you able with your prototypes to give them a rough idea on costs associated with manufacturing?
We can, to some degree. We do have some manufacturers that I've worked with in the past, and if there are questions, we can send the inventors to them, and they can work directly with them, or I can, on their behalf, get some answers for them. But having been in the manufacturing field for about 25 years, I can sometimes give them a pretty good rough idea of what things are going to cost, considering the molds and the piece price of the part.
That's great to know. Thank you for answering that, Roger. Linda, do we have anything else? This has been so informative. I'm so glad that we had your team from Empire on, Roger and Jason. Any other questions, Linda, you think?
Well, we had some great questions. Those are like, the questions that inventors all want to know. So thank you, everyone, for, providing those great questions, because it is what, straight from the inventors. So fabulous. And we want to thank you, both of you, for being on the show. And so with everything going on, Jason's having a baby.
Another girl, 4 girls.
4 girls.
My mom's the oldest of 4 girls. I know what that's like. It's a beautiful thing. I can tell you.
I'm excited.
We'll just have great son-in-laws.
Yeah, right.
Well, and once again, we can't wait to support you at the International Home and Houseware Show this year. It's March 18th through the 21st, and we will be a sponsor of the Inventors Corner, and Empire Group will be part of our little program throughout the show and throughout the Inventors Corner. So we're honored to have you a part of that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and keep us posted on the new website. So
Yeah,
keep that all over the place. We can get out to literally millions when we share it. So we'll be sure to promote it.
Great, we appreciate it, truly.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Happy Valentine's Day.
You too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.